All right, I want to tell you about a group of people who've been quietly running around Grayslake for 55 years. They hand out American flags at the Memorial Day parade. They flip pancakes at the fire station every October. They pour your beer at summer days. They throw a parade for your kid and your dog. They hand thousands of dollars in scholarships to local high schoolers, and they fund child abuse prevention centers right here in Lake County. And here's the kicker. Most people in Grayslake have no idea who they are. So who are these mysterious do-gooders? Are they a secret society? A cult with really good breakfast food? Close. They're the Grayslake Exchange Club. And after I got invited to speak at one of their meetings recently, I came away thinking, honestly, more people need to know about this. So today we're pulling back the curtain. Stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to want to know if you're the type of person who should be in this room. Spoiler alert, you might be. Let's get into it. So let's start with the basics here. Because the name itself is a little confusing, at least in my mind. Exchange Club. When I first heard about it, my brain went, what are we exchanging? Stocks, hostages, Pokemon cards? It turns out none of the above. The name goes all the way back to 1911 in Detroit, my hometown, where a group of businessmen started to meet up to exchange ideas about how to make their community better. That's it. That's the whole origin story. A bunch of people sitting around going, hey, what if we actually did something useful? And that idea was apparently so good, it became one of the oldest service club organizations that operates exclusively in the United States. Today, the National Exchange Club has hundreds of local clubs and somewhere around 18 to 20,000 members across US and Puerto Rico. Their core values are 3 words: family, community, country. And their motto, adopted back in 1917 and inspired by Psalm 133, is unity for service. Now, here's where it gets local. The Exchange Club of Grayslake was chartered on August 20th, 1971. So you do the math. That means, as of this year, they've been at it for 55 years. 55 years. That's not a club. That's a marriage that's actually worked out. And before I make this whole thing sound like pancakes and parades, and we'll get there because there are a lot of pancakes to talk about, I want to be straight about a heavy part because it matters. Every exchange club in the country rallies around one national project: the prevention of child abuse. That's been their central cause since 1979. The Grayslake Club specifically helps fund child abuse prevention centers right here in the county. It provides educational materials to local schools and nonprofits, and it supports the kind of work that does not get a parade and does not get the applause, but absolutely changes lives. I'm just going to say it. That's the part that really moved me. It's easy to be cynical about service clubs. Oh, a bunch of folks having lunch. But when an organization has quietly pointed 5 decades of effort at protecting kids, that earns my respect. All right, so take a deep breath because now we get to the fun stuff, and there's a lot of it here. The Grayslake Exchange Club is built around 3 programs of service: Americanism, community service, and youth programs, which sounds very official and very buttoned up until you realize what that actually looks like on the ground. Let's run through the list here. That pancake breakfast at the Hawley Street Fire Station every October, that's them. And they've been doing it for around 50 years. 50 years of pancakes. If you've ever eaten a pancake in downtown Grayslake in the fall, you have, knowingly or not, been a part of the Exchange Club operation. The beer you buy at Grayslake Summer Days, or the mini beers, that beer tent is theirs, and every dollar goes back into the community. So the next time someone judges you for grabbing a cold one at the festival, look them dead in the eye and say, hey, excuse me, this is my philanthropy. And they partner with the Grayslake Area Chamber of Commerce on the Craft Beer Festival, and that money funds scholarships for Grayslake Central and Grayslake North seniors. They run a food truck frenzy that actually won a National Exchange Club fundraising award. They lead the Memorial Day parade behind the color guard and hand out American flags as part of the national Give a Kid a Flag to Wave program. They do a bike and pet parade during summer days that's been running for over 2 decades, which is, hands down, the most wholesome sentence I've said all year. A parade, 4 bikes, and pets. I can't improve on that. And they even do an Adopt a Highway on Center Street between Route 83 and Route 45. So they're literally cleaning up the roads while they're at it. And the youth stuff is real money. Through their Youth of the Month program and year-end scholarships, they award thousands of dollars to local students every year. I think they mentioned tens of thousands of dollars. These are kids in your neighborhood getting recognized and getting checks. That's totally fetch, and I don't say that lightly. So how did I end up tangled up in all of this? Well, I got invited to be their guest speaker by Larry Lenzen, a longtime resident of Lake County, like several generations of Lenzens. He invited me to talk about the Lake County YouTube channel. Very meta. And let me tell you, that was a genuinely fantastic opportunity. And not just because I love the sound of my own voice, which you know I do. I'll be honest, walking in, I had a picture in my head. I figured it'd be a stiff, formal, fluorescent lit conference room kind of a deal. Folding chairs, lukewarm coffee, somebody's cousin reading minutes from the last meeting. No, they meet at First Draft, a brewery in Grayslake, my kind of place. And the meeting has this rhythm to it that I really came to appreciate. They open with the Pledge of Allegiance. There's the speaker that day. Lucky you, it was me. There are raffles. There are announcements. There's laughter in the room. And then they close by reading their pledge, the credo, the thing that ties the whole national organization together. And what struck me was the room itself. It was financial advisors, real estate agents, a chiropractor, lawyers, nonprofit folks, business owners, retirees. This was a genuine cross-section of the community. People who in normal life would probably never end up at the same table. And here they were on a weekday at noon, choosing to spend their lunch hour figuring out how to make Grayslake a little better. That's a vibe. All right, let's talk logistics here because this is where the rubber meets the road. How often do they meet? Weekly, every Thursday at noon at First Draft. And here's the detail I love. If you want to check it out, you can stop by for a complimentary lunch and just see what it's all about. No commitment, no pressure, no one chasing you out to the parking lot. You eat a free lunch, you watch how it works, and then you decide. Now, cost and commitment, because I know that's what's actually on your mind. National doesn't post one universal price, and dues vary club by club. But to give you a realistic ballpark, comparable exchange clubs in Illinois run somewhere in the neighborhood of roughly $175 a year in dues, sometimes billed quarterly, plus the cost of your meals if you're eating at the meetings. So we're talking about the price of a couple streaming subscriptions, except instead of doom scrolling, you're funding scholarships. For the exact Grayslake number, you can ask them directly, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second. As for structure, every local club runs itself. They've got their own officers, their own board of directors, their own president, and they raise their own funds. National and the district level provide the backbone and the framework, but the local club decides what the community actually needs, which is exactly why a Grayslake club looks like Grayslake and not like some copy-paste template of some other city. And the leadership piece is actually one of the real perks. If you've ever wanted to develop leadership skills, serve on a committee, sit on a board, maybe run an event, this is a low-stakes, high-reward place to do it. You're not gambling your career, you're learning by actually doing, surrounded by people who want you to succeed. So here's the real question. Who is this for? Who's the type of person who walks into First Draft on a Thursday and thinks, yeah, these are my people? Let me paint you the profile. If you're new to the area and you want to actually meet people, not match with a stranger on an app, meet people, but real, show up and shake hands, meet people, this is it. If you're a business owner or you work in something relationship driven, real estate, finance, law, insurance, you name it, this is a room full of engaged, connected locals. The network isn't a gimmick. It's baked into their DNA. The word exchange literally started as exchanging ideas. If you're retired and you've got time, wisdom, and energy that you're looking to point at something meaningful, they want you badly. And honestly, if you're someone who's been feeling that low-grade modern ache of, I scroll a lot and I don't really know my neighbors and I'm not sure if I'm actually part of anything, and let's be real, that's a lot of us right now, this is a direct antidote. It's community in the most literal, least abstract sense. The mindset that thrives here is pretty simple. You like people, you want to be useful, and you'd rather do something than just complain about stuff online. That's the whole entry requirement. That's it. Now, but I don't live in Grayslake. Well, I hear you on that one. I'm just like you. I don't either. Exchange is a national organization with clubs all over, including elsewhere in Illinois. There's even a well-known one in Naperville, for example. The smartest move is to hop on the National Exchange Club's website, where they've got a club finder map. You punch in your location, it shows you what's near you. So if you're in another corner of Lake County, check the map before you assume you're out of luck. And if there isn't one near you, plot twist, you can start one. That's a real thing. Somebody had to start the Grayslake Club in 1971. It could be you in 2026, I'm just saying. If you want to actually take a step here, it's easy. The Grayslake Club has a website, exchangeofgrayslake.org. They're active on Facebook and Instagram, and the simplest possible move is to just show up at First Draft on a Thursday at noon and let them feed you lunch while you figure out if it's your thing. Worst case, you get a free lunch and meet some awesome people. That is, statistically, the worst possible outcome. Those are pretty good odds, if you ask me. Here's what I keep coming back to. For 55 years, this group has been doing the unglamorous, unpaid, un-Instagrammable work of holding a community together. And most folks driving down Lake Street have no clue. So if today you found out something fascinating about your own backyard, do me a favor, tell somebody. That's how a 55-year-old secret stops being a secret. I'll see you next time.
Disney World. the most magical place on Earth, and one of the most expensive.
The tickets are just too expensive this year.
We really want to take the kids, though.
Tickets, hotels, dining. The costs add up fast. But what if you could experience all the magic without the financial stress? Introducing Just the Essential Disney Hacks, the insider guide packed with proven tips to slash ticket costs, score the best hotel deals, beat the crowds, and dine like royalty on a budget. From your very first booking to your last ride of the day, every hack, every shortcut you need to make your Disney dream a reality. Available now on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. Your magical vacation starts here.